What's going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video, where today we are going to be looking at the Gardevoir and Sylveon Tag Team GX deck that David Ferreira, I believe is how you say his last name, used recently to win the Sheffield Regional Championship. So humongous congratulations to David. Winning a Regionals is an insane accomplishment. Definitely congrats there. He posted his list today, so I'm excited to hop into it and talk about the deck and see kind of what took him to his first place finish. One thing to note, though, is that during the tournament, partway through day 2, during a deck check, he actually had his 4 custom catchers removed from his list due to a decklist error. This is something that does happen sometimes in Pokemon tournaments. Apparently, I saw him post that he wrote the name of the card incorrectly, and because of that, he had to remove his 4 custom catchers from the deck and added 4 more basic fairy energies. So from the end of the tournament on, like through top 8, he wasn't able to play with custom catcher, which is absolutely insane that he was still able to win the tournament even after having to get rid of like 4 copies of one of the most powerful cards in the format. He didn't have any gust effects available to him, and he was somehow still able to come away with a win. So that is very impressive, I think. So congratulations to him on that. And I'm sure it was definitely a pretty disappointing thing and stressful when the custom catchers got pulled out of his list, but he made it work and was able to win the tournament nonetheless. So what we're going to do in today's video to honor the fact that David had his custom catchers removed is we're going to play the beginning of the video with custom catchers, kind of like David played the beginning of his tournament with custom catchers. And then partway through, we're going to pull the custom catchers out and see if we can still win some games with no custom catchers available to us and playing with 13 fairy energies. We'll see if that works. I'm kind of excited for this and also kind of dreading it because it seems like it might be tough. But here we go. This is the deck. Gardevoir Sylveon Tag Team GX, of course, with Fairy Song. Search your deck for up to 2 fairy energy cards and attach them to your benched Pokemon in any way that you like. Then shuffle your deck. Kaleidostorm, or Kaleidostorm, I never know how to say this attack. 150 damage. Move any number of energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way that you like. And then Magical Miracle GX, definitely something we want to try to pull off. 200 damage. If this Pokemon has at least 3 extra fairy energy attached to it, in addition to this attack's cost, your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck. You can't use more than 1 GX attack per game. So if we can get 6 fairy energies onto our Gardevoir and Sylveon Tag Team GX, then we can put our opponent to 0 cards and do 200 damage. Sounds like a win to me. We also have the 1 copy of Xerneas-GX here with Overrun. 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Aurora Horns for 120, and then Sanctuary GX. Move all damage counters from each of your Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. So a really, really strong healing option there in the Xerneas. And this is also here because it's our way to hit through Tag Purge used by Latios-GX or by Mewtwo and Mew copying Latios-GX. We of course also have the 4 copies of Power Plant that are going to be good against the Mewtwo decks. Fairy Charm Psychic to prevent that Mewtwo damage. We've got the Fairy Charm Lightning for the Pikarom matchup. Fairy Charm Ultra Beasts for Blacephalon. Very lots of different options here for us, and you know, 4 Coach Trainer, 4 Green's Exploration, and then 1 Bill's Analysis. Just some good consistency supporters with the 4 Pokégears. Wondrous Labyrinth Prism Star, if we can get it to stick at some point in the game, can also be very powerful, which we should be able to do since we do have the 4 Power Plants. But there we go, guys. That's the basics of the list. Let's hop on over to the Versus Ladder and see if we can't come away with a dub here today. Let's find it right here, Guardian. And yeah, once again, congratulations to David. We're going to play 1 or 2 games, and then we're going to take out those custom catchers to see what we can make happen. And yeah, we're going to go up against, oh no, some sort of metal deck. That is not good. Hopefully metal is just like a Jirachi or something like that, but he's got a metal deck box. That is a little sketchy. One of the things I like a lot about Guardian is it's one of those decks that doesn't really care if it goes first or second, because if you go second, as long as you don't start Xerneas, you can always get that turn 1 Fairy Song off. Basically always. Alright, so there is a Gardevoir and Sylveon tag team. We took 5 mulligans, so lots of extra cards for our opponent to start the game. But we do finally find a Gardevoir and Sylveon-GX. I was actually judging a league challenge recently where one of the seniors was playing a Gardevoir Sylveon deck, and he mulliganed 10 times before they get the game started. It was pretty crazy. Alright, so it does look like it is a Malamar deck, so thankfully it looks like the metal type will just be Jirachi. I think he played a colorless type as well, so I guess the colorless is probably just Ditto then. So yeah, probably just a straightforward Psychic Malamar deck. We'll see how things are able to go for us here. Seems like it should be an okay-ish matchup. If they play the Latios, we have the Gardevoir Sylveon. Or sorry, we have the Xerneas-GX as long as it isn't prized. 2 Psychic Energies down right away. Gets another one. Chose to start the Esper, which I guess makes sense over the Inkay. But if he loses this Esper too early on, then his hand, then he has no like sniping options most likely, unless he plays like a second Esper or like the Espeon Deoxys, of course. All right, so on to our turn. We're gonna get things going right away with an Energy Spinner. We do have the Xerneas-GX. I think we will probably just go greens for a greens and a Tag Switch, I think. So that all seems good. We definitely want to Cherish Ball for another Gardevoir and Sylveon, so that we have something to Fairy Song too. And yeah, I think we will get a Tag Switch. We did prize a Tag Switch, which is a little unfortunate. Might make it a little more difficult. Might make it a little more difficult for us to pull off some Magical Miracle plays. I think we're gonna bump the Power Plant, or bump the Viridian with Power Plant, and we're gonna try to get to a point where we can stick the Wondrous Labyrinth. So I think we'll definitely get a greens. And then as opposed to the Tag Switch, we could just get a Great Potion. We could also just get a Switch. Actually, let's get a Switch. That works. Yeah. That's way better. So we Fairy Song, and then we can attach Switch. Let's do that. Fairy Song. We'll get 2. Throw them onto the bench. And we'll see what Chopper393 wants to do to respond. Do get a Jirachi, most likely top deck that. There's another Viridian. So once again, we're going to try to keep bumping these stadiums. They likely play just 3 Viridians. They could play 3 Viridian and 1 Power Plant. That's something I've played in my League Cups recently, so if they're basing it off of that, and also other people have been playing as well. We're going to see the 3 energies onto the Giratina. Turn 2 attack coming out. Switches into the Jirachi, so they must have an escape board. So, have a decision here of what to take. Mysterious Treasure can set them up another Inkay. I like that we had the 1 Custom Catcher in our hand and the 1 Great Potion. It gives us options to, you know, try to fully heal something. Gives us options to try to Custom Catcher chase something down. He did have a second Switch, okay, but he didn't play a supporter this turn, I believe. Yeah, no supporter played. So we could just go after the Jirachi here. We do get a Xerneas as well, so Sanctuary GX is definitely something. I think Sanctuary GX is almost better than Magical Miracle. Alright, so let's go greens right away. And I really kind of want to bump their stadium. And we can just take this out. Should we just take out the Jirachi? I think let's take advantage of their Jirachi being down. Yeah. Alright, let's take advantage of their low hand size and try to take out this Jirachi, is what I mean to say. We'll play the Great Potion so we're out of that 2-shot range. This might be being a little too aggressive, but because we also could use this to take Malamar, and it's also really good to save custom catchers for a turn when you're getting around Spell Tag. And I think we'll just move the 1 to the bench. And we do get a Tag Switch out of the prize. That's pretty nice. So we can pull off some Xerneas plays if need be. Psychic Recharge. So he's gonna start to load up this Inkay, I guess giving himself a 1 retreat. Oh, I didn't think about healing this much more because of the... I guess it would have been pretty hard for him to pull off the Esper attack this turn. Their 80 is still exactly enough to knock out this Gardevoir Sylveon, unfortunately. Or no, it's not quite enough, right? They do 160? Yep, never mind. Just a Shadow Impact. And he has a 0-card hand now. Do we chase this other Jirachi that he benched? Let's start with a... because he doesn't even have a way to retreat yet. I think we replace the stadium. If we replace the stadium, it's really hard for him to attack this turn. So let's just do that. We'll replace the stadium. Definitely do that. We've got a Coach Trainer in hand. I guess we can get a Great Potion so we don't just get 2-hit knocked out. And then we will... Keldeo Storm. Keldeo Storm, I believe is the way to say it. And we are not going to move... I guess we should just move 1 energy. That's fine. We do have 1 in hand. So he's got a 0-card hand. He doesn't have a skateboard on his Jirachi. He's just going to have to send up the Jirachi and hope for the best here. Stellar Wish looking for probably a supporter. Oh, and he does get a Lily. So we could have chased this, but if we chase this, this Gardevoir gets knocked out right away. So I don't think that's a worthwhile trade. I'm going to go ahead and Tina Ping. Oh, that does let him knock this out with Esper now, though. That Tina Ping is definitely relevant math. Here comes the Acrobike. Oh, he does play Shrine. Interesting. So he's down 3 stadiums. Do we think he plays a 4th stadium? Could we just try to stick that Wondrous Labyrinth at this point? Oh, he's just going to retreat to Jirachi. Must be looking for... must be looking for a supporter for next turn, or he already has a switch in hand. Maybe we shouldn't have moved this energy because now we could pull off Magical Miracle if we hadn't moved the energy. So here comes the recharge. Yeah, is going for the Esper. Does he have the attachment from hand to go with it? And we know he has that spell tag. Oh no. So I don't think he has anything that can quite knock out the Gardevoir Sylveon. I guess Psychic Club. Oh. He must have missed a switch card and just wanted to set up... Oh. This is very confusing to me. They must have missed the energy for turn, I guess. We'll start with the Coach Trainer right away. Cherish Ball. Get it out of the deck. Cherish Ball and fail it. So they don't have a way to knock this out, I'm pretty sure. Because that would put it to 140 health remaining. I think this would get around Spell Tag, wouldn't it? So maybe we do just go with the Sanctuary this turn. That actually seems pretty good. We didn't get the switch, unfortunately. But this does get around spell tag because this is knocked out by damage, and this is move all damage counters. So we'll retreat. Tag switch. This seems like a pretty good turn to do this. We'll go down to 3. Get this out of the deck. Do we ever put this in play? I don't think it matters. Let's throw it out there. And we'll go for that Sanctuary GX. Moving all that damage up. Does use the GX attack, so no magical miracle for us. But I think that was a pretty good trade-off. Healing 170 damage from our side of the field. Seems like a pretty good turn to do it. We can't really let this get knocked out, though, because then we would just lose to Tag Purge if he does play the... Oh, he plays a Sightseer. Interesting. If he does play the Latios. So I'm going to assume he probably doesn't play the Latios, because it doesn't look like it's based on the lists that a lot of people have been going around with, because he does play things like Sightseer and Shrine of Punishments, which is definitely different. I think Hapu is probably better than Sightseer. Lets you theoretically see more cards. He is going to get a spell tag here. Let's see if they found the energy to attack, though. And hopefully, if he is attacking with Giratina, which I think is the only thing that really makes sense for him to be attacking with, he punches himself so that we can just Oro Horns and hit it. There's the spell tag. We knew he had that. Shadow Impact. Where are you putting the damage? He should probably punch a Malamar or the Esper. Wait, now we can just overrun it. That was terrible. Not terrible, but that wasn't ideal, I don't think. Play the spinner. Oh, we're running low on the energies at this point. 1 in the deck. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 1 prized. Do we just Coach Trainer for 2? That's kind of a feels bad, but we'll go for it. Yeah, we didn't have a way to get a knockout this turn, but now he just gave it to us. Yeah, we'll do it. That was not what he should have hit with his Shadow Impact. It definitely should have been on a Malamar. Or even a Jirachi, but honestly probably a Malamar. But he does still get the spell tag because it is just by damage. He's going to choose to hit this Gardevoir. So I don't know how I feel about that. He's going to spread the love. Coach Trainer from the prizes. And a Stamp. He plays a Stamp as well. Alright, we got a Tag Switch into Coach Trainer. We need to find an energy. Setting up the Espeon Deoxys here. We do still have 2 custom catchers, so as long as we can knock this out, and then in turn knock out one other thing with custom catchers, we should be able to close the game out. We are down 3 greens, because we used them a lot early on. Gotta say, I don't think I was expecting the Stamp, but also at the same time, our opponent only has 3 cards left in their deck. Will they be able to close out the game before they potentially deck out? They do punch themselves there. That is definitely the correct time to hit themselves. And we're just going to send up the Gardevoir Sylveon. We shouldn't have put the Fairy Charm on the thing that could... Actually, we should send this one up. Because we can tag switch to it. Yeah, let's do that. And because we could get Fairy Charm Psychic. That's just what I was thinking. And we do hit the energy as well. That was perfect. So let's tag switch these 2. Fairy Charm Psychic. I think that the Espeon Deoxys is the only thing we have to be scared of right now. We'll throw this down. And Keldeo Storm. Take the KO. Go down to just 1 prize card remaining. Not moving any of these energies. He's going to put the spell tag damage. Looks like it's all going on the active. So he cannot attack us with the Espeon Deoxys. That was a really good draw off those 4 cards. We got the last energy in the deck plus one of the 2 Psychic Charms. We did, and we also got the Tag Switch, which we needed to be able to attack with the thing that had the Psychic Charm. So maybe a little lucky there because I didn't, you know, put the charm down correctly. Oops. I don't really remember the charm situation, though. He cannot get to the 6 energies this turn. There goes the Mimikyu. So he cannot knock this out. Here comes a Spell Tag. He's calmed the Mimikyu back into the deck, it looks like. Not going to take a card there. Cynthia, that's going to leave him with 1 card in deck. What is he looking for? We might just be able to literally win by decking him out because he is not going to be able to knock out all this stuff. He's going to Psychic Club here. That is not going to work because of the Fairy Charm Psychic. He could Cross Division, but he really should wait. He is going to Cross Division. I was saying maybe he should wait for the... to have, like, all of the energy to do it. I think we should just be able to close this out. We're just going to Keldeo Storm for 150. We'll move the energy down here. He's given us the well played. He must know that that is GG. Just did that so that if this does get knocked out, we should have attached this energy, but it's okay. So he's going to take 3 prizes here, but it's not quite enough to win him the game. Yep, he's going to go with the Copycat KO. And then he unfortunately decks out, but we would have been able to take our last prize anyway, so even if he hadn't decked out, we were in a fine position there. And we'll take a game here in the first one. Yeah, because this is prevent all damage, not all effects. And yeah, he just Cynthia's, because why not? Where's he going to throw the energy? Probably just onto the Malamar for the memes. Oh, onto Jirachi. Here we go. Oh, moving it over to this Jirachi, actually. Okay. Oh, nope. Over to this Malamar. Where are we going with it? Oh, back to this Malamar. Please tell me this guy is not going to be able to just sit here and do this for 15 minutes. Oh, come on. Can he actually sit here? Like, does this not run the timer down? This is ridiculous if this is something this guy's able to do to try to, like, stall me out. I wonder if, like, PTCGO, because, like, there's a timer that counts down if you haven't made an action in 60 seconds, it'll, like, end your turn for you or, like, make you do something. And if he doesn't get down to that 60 seconds, if he can just move an energy around for... If that counts as an action is what I'm saying. And it'll just let him move this energy around because... Keldeo Storm, move any number of energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way that you like, which is obviously what he's doing here with Copycat. Putting all 6 on the Mimikyu. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, is he just going to do this for however much time he had left in his game? Oh my goodness. So we are able to close this out, despite whatever our opponent was doing right there. We could reset stamp them, but there we go. He just hits the concede button. Oh, and look at that. We're doing a Rainbow Power challenge. All right, so let's run another one back with the custom catchers still in the deck. See if we can not get another win. I think I might have been unnecessarily aggressive with my catchers because there was a turn. That turn I used them. I could have just attacked a Giratina that didn't have a spell tag on it, which seems like it probably would have been pretty good. And just saved the catchers to get around spell tags. That's probably what I should have done. But, you know, whatever. Never punished. We'll take it. And here we go. We get another game against Nate Eggs playing a Grass, Colorless, Fire, Psychic deck. All kinds of types up in here. they are going to get to choose who goes first. Once again, like I said, I don't think this is a deck that minds very much going second. So we'll get an idea of what their deck is. Fire type decks can definitely be an issue. The Reshizard decks, because they can pretty quickly, you know, take a one-hit knockout on a Gardevoir Sylveon. And I have not played this deck enough to know like the most optimal lines to try to make that bad matchup work for us. But we'll see if we can make something happen if this is one of those Charizard decks. So it is some sort of control deck. Oh no, it is Salazzle Unknown Hand. Oh my gosh, this is not what's happening right now, is it? Salazzle Unknown Hand. We've got 2 copies of Reset Stamp, so that is big. And it's just going to be, do we take our prizes before they get to the big enough hand size? Oh no, what a meme. What is going to happen to us right now? Pokénav comes down, gets the Ditto Prism. And seeing, rearranging the other 2 cards in whatever way they want. So I think it's just gonna kind of come down to like how good does he set up. That's I think the biggest issue with decks like this is getting to their setup, because there's not a lot of consistent search. There's not a lot of great supporters. We do get a Gardevoir Sylveon, which is great. We get custom catchers as well. We can get another Gardevoir Sylveon out of the deck, just thin it out of there. Throw the Power Plant in play. We have the energy. And we will go for the Fairy Song. Put 2 right here onto the bench. And not a great hand, though, unfortunately. Can't even really thin it down for custom catchers to draw cards. I guess we actually could, because we could go double custom and then play another one, which might be worthwhile to try to just knock out one of these Salazzles. But yeah, all this, like I was saying that this deck doesn't have consistent search, but it really feels like once you get a Salazzle going with a Fire Energy in hand, you might be able to get there, and Whitney's going to draw them a bunch of cards as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to be doing a lot of counting in this game. So if anyone is unfamiliar with the strategy, the idea is that they're going to be using Salazzle's Roast Reveal to discard Fire Energy from their hand, drawing 3 cards, using multiple of these guys in a turn, and eventually get to a hand size of 35, and then throw the Unknown with the hand ability into the active spot that says, if once during your turn, if you have more than 35 cards in your hand and this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may choose to win the game. Resource management, of course, will put cards back, like the Fiery Flint and the Fire Crystal. I would imagine he'd go Flint, Crystal, Pokénav, probably. Communication, okay, that works too. Alright, and we do top deck an Energy. So do we ever want to try to thin our hand out to draw cards with the catchers? I don't think so. We're just going to go like this and Fairy Song once again. The thing that stinks, though, is that this does not feel like a deck that you can really take your time with. So we'll do this and this. So if we top deck a Switch, an Energy, a Tag Switch, a Greens Exploration, like so many good things we can top deck right here. That would allow us to start attacking. Turn 2 attack against this deck would have been ideal. Just start Keldeo Storming because we just knock literally everything out. I didn't look through my deck to see if we had the catchers in there. Or sorry, not the catchers, the Reset Stamp. Because that is going to be important. Here comes more Salazzles. Roast Reveal. Alright. Is there a card behind their deck box? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm not even going to start counting yet. 2. Now I'm going to start counting. Well, nope, never mind. I'm going to wait until their turn's done. They do play the Virizion GX with Breeze Away GX as well. Lets them put a bunch of cards into their hand, so maybe we try to save our stamps for that instance. They must have prized their 4th Salazzle. That's what I would assume based on that. And they will put down the Oranguru. There's the Giant Hearth. Get some more cards out of the deck. Here comes a Fire Crystal. Here we go. A couple of energies to the hand. Have they Roast Revealed all 3 times? I think they haven't used this one, but I'm not positive. Looker as well to draw some cards. So they played Lookers and Whitney. Kind of crazy. And Resource Management. Alright, so they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the most they can possibly plus in one turn is 2 per Salazzle, right? Because they discard, well, no, because then they can Flint the energies out of the deck. They can also Fire Crystal. Things are looking a little sketch. We unfortunately drew nothing. We're going to leave an energy in the deck so that it's a potential top deck, or that we can get Energy Spinner. An Energy Spinner target. Oh man, we've played 1 supporter this game. We've got Pokégears, we've got... Oh man, we're going to lose to Oranguru Salazzle Unknown Hand deck. Maybe we should have just said screw it and thinned our hand out and tried to draw cards with Catcher. I think we have to do it next turn. We maybe should have just done it 2 turns ago though. Doubled up this. Can he get there this turn? No, because he didn't leave a bench spot for the Unknown Hand. Oh wait! He's bench locked himself. He can never Breeze Away. He can never Unknown Hand. He's bench locked himself. We just win, right? He just decks out. He can Profound Knowledge, I guess. Well, he would never deck out because he just resource managements forever, but he took away his own win condition. So I guess we do have forever. Yep, we should just wait. It was a little boring, guys. I'm sorry, but we're just going to wait. He can't win. He doesn't have the option of his win condition. Oh, unless he plays Giovanni's Exile. Do we think he plays Giovanni's Exile? There's no way, right? No way. If he plays it, you know what? I got bodied. It is what it is. He'll never deck out. He would probably time out. We could time him out. But I'm not going to sit here for forever and do that. Maybe my opponent, they didn't resource management last turn. Maybe they are realizing, oh, shoot. Oh, and they just conceded! I think they realized they didn't leave themselves, they bench locked themselves. Took away their own win condition. They could have started attacking us with Profound Knowledge. Man, okay. Alright, well that's 2 wins down, so let's go ahead for the rest of the video. We're going to go over to the deck manager. And we're going to pull these custom catchers out of the deck, because unfortunately for David, that's what happens to him. He lost his custom catchers partway through the tournament due to a deck list error. Do I not have... Yeah, I don't have... We got 12 and 13. I only have 2 of the fairy, the secret rare fairies. Those are the hardest ones to trade for, most expensive on PTCGO. Alright, 13 fairy energies and 0 custom catchers. Here we go. We'll see how it works out for us. It worked out pretty good for David. Honestly, custom catchers haven't been that necessary for us thus far. We've used them once. And then in that second game, obviously didn't end up mattering because our opponent conceded super early because of the board lock. Didn't even take a chance to look at what our opponent was playing, what types, but they've got some nice Leafeon sleeves. I can't remember if I have those sleeves or not. I wish that they would bring back stuff like these sleeves and like the sleeves and deck box that I have. I wish they would bring stuff like this back into the shop. So it looks like we have hit a fire deck, which, like we mentioned at the beginning, can be pretty tough. There's a Fairy Energy, though, so that is definitely ideal. And it looks like it will likely be an ability-based Charizard deck. Which is scary, We might just get blown up here really fast, and not much we can honestly do about it. Alright, Pokemon Communication. There goes Victini into the deck. Maybe this matchup would be better if you could play like Wobbuffet, but then that's like something you start. You like the reason this deck works is because you like have such high odds to start Gardevoir Sylveon and can start Fairy Songing so fast. So there's a Reshiram and Charizard GX. See if they have a Welder or not. There's just a Dedenne change. Discards a few Fire Energy. They play the Slowking as well, which is definitely an interesting tech that has made its way into some of these decks. With the 0-1 Slowking line with the Ditto Prism Star. Alright, Stellar Wish. After getting a couple energies out of the deck, definitely looking for that Welder on turn 1. If they miss the Welder, we might be in an okay spot. We can also Power Plant them. There's the Escape Board. There's the Attach. Do they have Welder? Maybe. Maybe not. Let's see it. Welder or no. Also, no Vulpix yet. Oh, of course, Wobbuffet's also a Pokemon with an ability, which means you can't play Green's Exploration, which makes it even worse. Okay, so they did not get a Welder, which is excellent. Only 2 greens in the deck. We do have a Fairy Energy, though, which is all we really need to get things rolling. No custom catchers, however. So let's actually just start with a Coach Trainer. We don't need a ton this turn, so Coach Trainer seems solid to me. Gives us higher odds to hit a greens next turn. Let's go ahead and pull that Secret Rare one out of the deck. I prefer to always have matching artworks if I can, but, you know, when we got a Secret Rare Fairy Energy, we gotta throw it out there. So we do have a turn 2 attack potentially set up. Maybe we can win the game by getting a fast Magical Miracle GX. There's the Welder. They must have top-decked it. Yeah, must have top-decked it. So, after they GX our first Gardevoir, we'll have to go get the Choice Helmet. I don't remember if it was in the deck, but Choice Helmet's definitely very important. I don't know, maybe it's less important against Reshi Zard than it is against Green... Or, sorry, Ability Zard than it is against Green Zard. Because Ability Zard can just knock you out with all of their other stuff that's not Charizard GX. Alright, Stellar Wish for our opponent. Let's see if the Power Plant sticks for a turn. That might slow them down. But yeah, ideally that's what we're going to be trying to set up, is the turn of Magical Miracle GX into Magical Miracle GX Power Plant. Put them at 0 cards and try to just see if we can high roll the win from there. I believe they just got a Fire Crystal with that. There are 3 fires in the discard. Alright, there's an attachment. That thing is definitely starting to look scary down there on the bench. But with no Ninetales set up yet, we know that this guy is potentially safe. Potentially. I think we'll just go for a Bills this turn over the Pokégear. Once again, we don't need a lot this turn, and that can set up the potential for higher odds greens next turn. We could just start attacking. Oh, he's just going to go ahead and start attacking. And stamps us as well. That is pretty good, if you ask me. But if he doesn't get a Vulpix, we know that this guy should be safe, and we can set this up to be magical, to get the Magical Miracle off next turn. So, we do get in a scary situation, though, where he can knock this out with double Flare Strike by going like Flare Strike, then switch, then Flare Strike again. He should Flare Strike this. He might Outrage it, though, and if he does Outrage it, we'll be able to heal it with the Great Potion. Taking their time to make their decisions here. They are going to go with the Flare Strike. I think that is their best move. So we could try to set up a play with the Xerneas, where we go like switch into this, he hits this, then we switch into Xerneas, and then GX this, take 3 prizes. Like surprise him with the Xerneas play. Do we have Cherish Ball? We've got 4 switch, we've got 2 Cherish Balls left. I think we're going to go for that. I kind of like it. It's kind of a cute little play. Because we know this will be safe. So let's go for greens to get switch and greens. Does this work? Yes, because the next turn we get greens for switch. Oh no, we need Tag Switch plus Cherish Ball. Doesn't quite work. So what can we get here? I think we can just still go with this. Switch greens, and then next turn we go into... So we switch into this now. We'll just go with it. I'm not quite sure about this right now. We could also just hit him for 150 here. We know this is safe at least. If we just Fairy Song, yeah, we'll go for it. Like this, and then now we can potentially next turn Magical Miracle. Oh, but he could just knock this. I don't know. I'm like thinking too far ahead of myself, because if he just knocks this out with the GX, and there's the Vulpix. I don't know, guys. Prizing double greens is a little unfortunate. But I don't think it would have actually mattered here at this point in the game. He hasn't been able to Dedenne, though, so... Well, I mean, we knew he had the Fire Crystal, but... I guess he could have Welder here. And he also can't Flare Strike as of now. He has to hit one of his switches. Switch into Jirachi plus Welder. I mean, that's so likely. The deck plays... He probably top decked the Vulpix, I have to assume, because, you know, he benched it. He would have benched it last turn if he had it. One thing is for sure is that our opponent is definitely thinking through all their decisions. Taking a while here to figure out what they want to do. See an energy to the active for turn. Oh, and just an Outrage. Nice. So we got away with one there potentially. Alright, Adventure Bag. Just thin some stuff out of the deck. sure. So let's Choice Helmet this so that he can't Flare Strike it. He has to Double Blaze it. Screens for Coach Trainer or Bills here. I guess it lets us see more cards that are potentially good in the Cherish Ball. Because there's 2 Tag Switch in the deck. Let's go ahead and pull this guy out. Yeah. Would have been a good turn to Custom Catcher kill that Vulpix probably, which we didn't have the option for. So I don't think any of these charms ever really matter. Choice Helmet's the only tool that matters, and we've already got it on something. So we'll Caldeo Storm, and then let's move 1 to here. We know he has a Fire Energy, so he's probably going to GX this. We'll leave 1 just in case he, like, Ninetales something. What he might be able to do here is he might be able to go Ninetales, bring this up, and then not use his GX attack. But if he does that, we still set up the numbers to... or he might Ninetales, bring this up so that it just gets knocked out, and we don't get to the use of Sanctuary. But if he just knocks this out, we get to use Sanctuary, or even Aurora Horns would knock this out at this point. He's going to go with the Switch, though. Here comes the Stellar Wish. There's the Giant Hearth, so he will get his abilities back of his GX Pokemon. Yeah, this is seeming tough. I mean, he does have to GX this, but then there's already 230 damage here, so all he needs next turn is a Ninetales to bring this up and do any amount of damage to it to win the game. This is looking rough. Oh, I guess we just have to use Sanctuary then. That's what it is, yeah. So if we just use Sanctuary, we knock this out, and then he would need the Blacephalon or Victini. Or, oh, there's the Victini. Or, like, yeah, Baby Blacephalon or Victini, I guess, would be it. Turtonator would not be enough because we're going to be knocking this out. It does get a Dedenne. And there we go. Dede Change discards a ton of stuff. Heatran, the Baby Blacephalon does go down. 3 Fire Energies as well. So he needs 13 fires in the discard, but the deck usually is playing 13 fires now, so Victini, he shouldn't have benched the Victini. He should have benched the Baby Blacephalon. There's the Ninetales now. Yeah, so if he has the double Fire Energy and he can Gust this, knock it out, that's actually really good for him. We do still have the option to Aurora Horns this, so I guess it's not the worst for us. That would make me feel like that would make me wish I had used the Great Potion, but I think it's fine. And he is just gonna Double Blaze. Okay, we're chilling. We're gonna full heal this, knock this out, and Victini can't Gust and knock this out. There's 3 prizes. Alright, there's Stamp. That is actually a really solid top deck. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff that's not good in the deck. Use the bills to get Power Plant and Coach Trainer. And then if he knocks this out, we're going to try to go to Stamp Plant to 1. Not going to use that yet. Yeah, we're just going to go Sanctuary. There we go. Heals all of that damage. Xerneas-GX's GX attack, super powerful. And yeah, we're going to have pretty high odds to pull at least the 1 greens out of the deck, out of the prizes there. So we did get 1, which is good. And yeah, it just sends up Jirachi. We could have used the Stamp plus the Plant there, but I think we're going to try to save it. If he does knock this out, we can go Stamp Plant to 1, and that's way better. Alright, there's the fires. So we can 9 Temptations bring this up. We can greens for double Great Potion, though, and then heal 150 from this. So I don't know how much damage he would be doing. He's down 10 fires. He needed the Baby Blacephalon, and he discarded it. I think Baby Blacephalon was definitely the way over the Victini. Here comes the Stellar Wish. So what is he left to attack with? It's just Victini and Turtonator, right? And unfortunately for us, we don't have the custom catcher win condition anymore. Of like, yeah, I guess we would have to go like overrun to hit one of the Dedenes. This is the only way we can knock it out with Keldeo Storm. Fails the Cherish Ball. I think we probably can assume they had no GXs left. If anything, it's one more Dedenne. But no reason to really get it out of the deck there. I guess there's no reason really not to get it out of the deck as well. Definitely a long game here. Yeah, our opponent 14 minutes left on their timer. Here comes the Welder, though. They might just go with Victini here. It's not gonna... It will knock us out. I was about to say it's not gonna knock us out, but it will knock us out. And then we get to go Stamp Plant to 1. Or Plant Stamp to 1. There we go. We're not planting them to 1. We're stamping them to 1. The plant is just supplemental. And debating what energies to put where. They're going to put 2 onto Dedenne for some reason. Maybe they timed out there and that's why they put the 2 on the Dedenne. Or maybe they're just putting them there for Turtonator. That might be what they're thinking, is they have to go with Turtonator here. And they don't want to get stamped to 1. But we'll definitely stamp them this turn, regardless. And they probably should retreat into a Dedenne, honestly. They've got multiple switches left. They're going to attach to a Dedenne. I think they maybe should have gone, like, attach here and then retreat to this Dedenne with no energy on it. We have no way to knock this out. Okay, here comes the PCOM. Well, if they were going to get Turtonator, they should have... if they're going to get and bench Turtonator, they should have attached to it this turn as well. So they're playing the 13 fires, it looks like. So, wait, do they even have... Okay, they have crystals left. I was going to say, do they even have fires left? But of course they have the fire crystals to get the fires that are discarded back. And here comes another Jirachi. Maybe they prized their Turtonator? Yeah, must have prized their Turtonator. We can kind of just, like, sit here as long as we want, though. There's nothing super threatening on their side, like the Victini, of course. I guess is semi-threatening, but if they can never bench Turtonator to get to the point of one-shot knocking this out... Yeah, I think we just pass, right? We never just want to... Because if we knock this out, sure, we get to take our prize, whatever. But then they can go Welder, Turtonator, attach, Gust, knock out Gardevoir for win. But if we never let them bench Turtonator, then we just win. Or we just... They can't do anything until... Like, the only thing they can do is Victini knock this out. Yeah, so I think we never do that, right? I guess if anything, we overrun. Let's get rid of this stuff. Of course, Labyrinth could be really good as well. Maybe we can try to bait them to letting us stick the Labyrinth. I don't even want to play the greens. Like, we don't need to. No reason not to overrun, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think we'll just go like that. Because the only way we ever take our prizes is if we're knocking out the Ninetales with overrun. Otherwise, we'll just, you know, pass indefinitely. He doesn't. I'm trying to think. Like, there's no way he could damage this to knock it out to free up the bench spot, right? All right. So there's the Giant Hearth. Yep. That's fine. Here comes Crystal. Getting 3. Yeah, because they bench locked themselves, I think we'll be okay. If they hadn't benched this Jirachi, we actually would have been in trouble because we don't have custom catchers in the deck. If we had catchers, we, you know, can just go greens, catchers, knock out the Ninetales, and then this guy is totally safe. But if they just don't bench this Jirachi, then they leave the threat of Turtonator out there to Welder attached to it. Maybe they have realized this at this point, and that's why they're going with the Welder to the Victini here. That does put them down 3 Welders. But now they've brought a bunch of energies back into play. They're going to Hearth one, so they are still 20 short of knocking us out. They need to discard another fire. They can go switch into Dedenne, retreat Dedenne, and that would get there. Yep, switch into a Dedenne. Yep, and then retreat an energy off Dedenne. And it makes sense to leave one on each Dedenne so I can't ever just like knock out 2 energy from play. So that's smart play from them there. And there's the Infinity, 180 exactly. Goes down to 1 prize. And here we go, Reset Stamp, Power Plant. We'll play the Pokégear because we're going to Coach Trainer this turn, and we want to draw non-supporter cards, I'm pretty sure, off of this. Alright, now we have more options next turn. Let's just go get this out of the deck. We're never using it. Could I have thinned? Yeah, I could have used their thing to get rid of this. That's a mistake. But yeah, we'll just get this, not putting it down ever here. And Keldeo Storm. And we just got to hope that this is enough for us to close out the game. If we were playing custom catchers, I think we would have put 20 here so that we could have the custom catchers to knock out the Dedenne for game. Oh, and they get the PAL pad off the stamp, getting 2 Welders back into the deck. But that's not going to do a bunch for them if they don't have fire energy as well, which I guess there's pretty good odds they got a fire at least. There's the Heat Factory, so that should be their last stadium. Which means I think we go with the Wondrous Labyrinth. Retreating again, Stellar Wishing again. Oh, why would they retreat before before using the Heat Factory? That doesn't make any sense. I guess they can't win regardless this turn because their Baby Blacephalon is gone. The only thing they have is the Turtonator is an option. Here comes Cherish Ball. Probably will just get Dedenne. And then if they have Turtonator, we'll probably see them Pecom in the Dedenne for the Turtonator. Looking through their deck, figuring out their options. Man, they only have 8 minutes left. This has been a long, long game. Alright. Nothing with the Cherish Ball. Either they don't have anything, or they might have prize. Like, Turtonator could be this last prize here. We have not seen it. There was a chance for them to have potentially gotten it last game. And I don't think we ever do anything besides... Well, I mean, we're going to greens here. I think we get the Wondrous Labyrinth. I think that is what we need here. And we would get custom catchers if we could. And what else? I guess the stamp again. Yeah, we'll stamp them again. It's probably our best bet. I'm thinking we could bench and attach to this just to play around with their own potential stamp. Yeah, and then we will move an energy back to it. But they've already played one stamp. We should have put the Psychic Charm on it as well. So our last prize, I believe, is our last greens. And here comes the Stellar Wish. And yeah, they're just going to concede. I don't think they had a way to close the game out there. And there we go, Gardevoir taking down Ability Charizard, one of the strongest decks in the format. Also beating Malamar today. Yeah, the deck functioned pretty well. Even without custom catchers, ideally you should be playing this deck with custom catchers. In fact, I'm going to go right now and put them back in the deck so that if I play it later, I don't forget to put them back, because custom catchers are important. But I'm not going to lie, having those like extra energies felt pretty good to be able to like always guarantee your attachment and stuff. It's like if you have to lose something, definitely not custom catchers, but I feel like having more than 9 energies was pretty nice. So we're going to put the custom catchers back in. And there we go, guys. There's the Gardevoir deck. Once again, congratulations to David on his win. Super awesome stuff. And yeah, leave a like down below if you guys enjoyed, and let me know what deck you want to see from me next. And that is going to do it for me. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. All of those links, as always, are in the description of this video. And that does it for me, guys. I'm going to get out of here, and until next time, take care.